Hey guys, God bless. Welcome back to my channel. I am Charlene and welcome to Christian Girl Chat, where we're going to talk about a wide variety of topics, subjects, matters, concerns as far as relations to being a Christian girl or woman. I guess I'm somewhere in between. I don't know. I am 32 years old, so I guess I actually am more so I think after 30, it's just woman. But I want to be obedient to God because God made it clear in his word. The older women should teach the younger women. So I don't want to wait till I'm a prune to instill the wisdom and knowledge he has given me. I want to share that now while I'm able-bodied and I have the energy to actually get it all out, right? So I made a couple comments in a lot of my videos in reference to being submissive and honoring my husband. I want to come on camera and have this conversation, letting you guys know that it was not easy, and a part of me had the world view of what it means to be submissive. I immediately equal being submissive to slavery, and by no means, not even a fraction of that is slavery at all. I am happily married today. That wasn't always the case. And we are embarking on our 5th anniversary this May. May 1st is our anniversary. We've come a mighty long way in 5 years. We had to learn what it meant to be married from a biblical standpoint. And we also, within that biblical standpoint, had to understand what God meant and intended for the roles of man and woman, which is complicated in itself, not because of what it says and what it means, but because our mind and our heart does not comprehend properly, and we know things in part. So it was a learning experience. One that you have to be willing to want to learn, and you have to be willing to admit when you're wrong. Because that's probably one of the hugest things. Like, we get caught up in our own feelings and emotions, and we do not want to admit error in ourselves because we have this sense of pride and feeling less than when we mess up. But I have learned to, just be at peace at my errors and my mistakes, because I am human. And my thing I had to hold on to was, now that I am aware, I can actually do something about it and not carry on and drag on in the same manner that I had before. But anyway, so we know what the word of God means, and I intend to express that in a way where you just understand it better. I do not plan on changing or deviating what's in this Holy Bible for anybody's preference, not even myself, because God's word is true. And if anything, we're the liars. We're the deceitful ones. We're the wicked ones, right? So I honor my husband in means of his preferences, in means of making his job easier. He is a pastor. He is a father to a bunch of kids. But yeah, and when I say bunch of kids, I mean my kids. Don't be thinking I'm saying he was out there planting seeds. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying we have a household full. We now have a total of 7 individuals in a house on a given day. That is a lot. We have a lot of kids. So he is a hardworking man. I am a stay-at-home mom, so he is the provider. And to be honest with you guys and be very transparent, I've said this plenty of times on my other channel. I'm telling you guys, he has a standard middle-class job. He is a EMT. And if you don't know, EMT is the emergency medical transport driver or person or whatever, however you want to express that. He has this job for 11 years, I believe. I'm counting this year. It's between 8 to 10 years, something like that. Because obviously he had it before me. Because if he had it while I was with me, you know how women are. We remember dates and stuff. We definitely do. Yeah, he's had that job for a long time. He's really reliable. He's hardworking. He's loving. He's caring, and he's so selfless. Um, he will go to the extremes to provide. If that means picking up an extra shift or working a little later, he is willing and able to do so. And it's obviously it's not easy, not from a standpoint of working hard and working long hours, but also coming home and being a father. He tries his best to split himself in as many ways as possible. So for me, I had to focus on those things and not maybe the grumpiness or the attitudes every now and again. Because you got to understand, if you work long, you work hard hours, and you have the responsibility of continuing this pattern to provide for your family, you can be a little aggravated. Now, disclaimer, I am not in no form or fashion agreeing with or allowing or accepting the idea of abuse, and that's verbal or physical. I am strongly a believer that there is a such thing as verbal abuse, because you got people who say there isn't, but I'm not advocating for that, nor am I the person to really necessarily talk to and counsel anyone about whether to leave or stay, because that's something between you and God. But I am a hardcore to death do us part person, and obviously I may just be that hardcore, not only because of what I gathered from scripture, but because I don't have no real just or reason to even think that I have the right to divorce. I'm talking about me. I have a loving, good husband. And like I said, yes, we disagree. We are like salt and pepper, you guys. Like, we are so contrary. It's ridiculous. So our preferences are completely different in almost every single thing you can name, down from food to fashion sense to movies to cars and trips, and y'all, it's just all over the place, down to our style of teaching, what we prefer as preference of reading. It's just all over the place, you guys. But we learn to learn from each other. You like that? Talk to me about that. I like this. I'm going to express this to you. So it keeps things going. So I just want to throw that out there in reference to this in relationship and marriage. Love. A lot of women are confused about the conception of love, because we in this world where there is standards that aren't biblical. Every man isn't going to be the goo goo gaga man where it's like, oh, I'm just going to kiss on you all day and hold your hand at the perfect times and make out all day and make love. And everybody isn't designed and wired in that manner. And we have to understand that majority of the time, men their love language to you is acts of service. And that would be, like I said, working hard to provide, making sure the groceries get taken care of and paid for, making sure you're taken care of, making sure you have your weekly or monthly hair appointment or nail appointment, taking you to dinner, having dinner as a family. Like, a lot of people don't understand the significance and value of coming together every evening. But the fact that he's present and there says a lot too. Those little things that people take for granted, or those things that people don't look at as, well, he act like he doesn't love me because maybe he doesn't make googly eyes with you or hold your hands often or kiss you every day, or maybe he's like I said, grumpy when he gets home, or maybe he's a man of few words. Trust and believe. I can assure you that those things aren't far-fetched, and they should not be viewed as negative. A lot of men go to work and they work so hard and they have to deal with so much, but because it's not in their nature to grope and complain, they don't carry that home. And even in that, because a lot of people say, he doesn't talk to me, he doesn't express himself. A lot of men are simply protecting us from those things. I shouldn't be worrying. I'm trying not to worry, so I most definitely don't want to bring it home to you and make you worry. Like, we have to think outside the box about those certain things. So we're going to talk more about that, the love versus the submissive thing. But I definitely want to just express that it does not mean what you think it is. And a lot of times, we as women, being the most emotional creature between man and woman, we tend to be misled by our emotions. It just goes back to the fallen man, right? The serpent aroused doubt and curiosity in her. How was he able to do so successfully? Because we're emotional. And then the fault on Adam's was, you were supposed to be there to protect her and keep her from making that. And that's a lesson in itself, because we know that you don't just stick a woman in the house and say, hey, cook my dinner, take care of my children, and don't ever tend to her, because that will leave vulnerability, that will leave her to be misled or to get caught up in. A lot of times, women, that's how they get caught up in a lot of gossip, or a lot of other dishonest behaviors and things. So we have to be careful with that too. Because like I said, for me, I started when I was having my little emotional battle in the beginning of my marriage. I started gravitating towards things. And the plus and minus part about me was I was gravitating towards making myself feel better with buying stuff. So I had to go in the store. I had to grab something. And eventually it got led on to buying Bibles. And like I said, it's plus and minus, or the pro and con of that is, out of all the things I could have gravitated towards, pornography, infidelity, gossiping and all that stuff, like I started just hoarding Bibles, and I had a massive Bible collection. But the pro of that is I was able to let those things go and spread that love through you guys here on YouTube and say, you know what, I got too many. I was in my feelings when I bought this. This is for you. Now, I would say that eventually I want to get to a point where I can honestly say, you know what, I don't need no more, and that's it. And hopefully, prayerfully, and I keep saying this, but like I said, I will admit this, with me trying to do better, there is progress. Now I have Bibles out of a strategic need and concern. Like I got this study Bible because I need a decent study Bible that was actually teaching me. And obviously, like, I'm looking over here at my shelf now, like, if God said, get rid of those, I would have to be obedient and get rid of those. I have narrowed down successfully. But you never know. You never know. But like I said, I know there's progress. But one of the things about being obedient was my husband being more logic and not led with as many hormones and emotions as I am. He was able to say enough. And I can either fight him, be dishonoring, disobedient, and do what I want to do, which I did for a really long time, or I can finally come to the conclusion and say, you know what, you're right. I need to stop. I have enough Bibles, and I do. And a lot of you may say, you know what, I do. Or many of you may have had a husband to say, that's enough. And if you're like me, you're a stay-at-home mom, you either have to do one or two things. You have to be deceitful in how you gain more Bibles, like maybe you're hiding money, or you're getting money from other means and sources that aren't decent, or you have to bother him for it, and he probably out of irritation and feeling defeated may give in, or not necessarily being honest about your means of funds or money, which is something I had did often, was like, no, I ain't got no money, knowing that I still had change left over that I was collecting or saving just to get another Bible. You know, the small things that will matter. And the Bible talks about it too. Like, we thinking about those real obvious exposed sins. Listen, sin is sin. And even the little quiet things that nobody knows but you and God, they will matter, and you will be judged based on those things too. So I had to get myself in order. And hopefully me talking about this is helping someone. Hope I did. But like I said, I'm not beating you up. I'm not fighting you. I just want to be transparent, open, and honest. Let you guys know that, hey, I have struggles too. I am in error too. I just want to grow and help you guys. So there you have it. I love you guys. Don't forget to pray for me, and I'm praying for you guys. Feel free to comment. Love you guys. God bless. Take care. Bye.